Sarah Lawson, a successful millionaire in the United States, lived a life of luxury in her mansion in Beverly Hills. Owner of a high-end hotel chain, her fortune was growing rapidly. However, Sarah did not easily trust anyone. Recently divorced, she became even more cautious with the people around her. One day she hired a new maid, Rachel, a humble young woman who seemed to be hard-working and discreet. But after some bad experiences in the past, Sarah decided to test Rachel's honesty in an unusual way. Sarah left her jewelry drawer open, filled with diamonds, emeralds, and expensive necklaces, before leaving for a business meeting. She wanted to see how far the new employee would go. Would Rachel be different from the others, or also fall into temptation? At this moment, Sarah, standing in her luxurious room, looks at the open drawer and whispers to herself, "We'll see what you're made of, Rachel." Sarah left the house, but not before discreetly activating the hidden cameras that monitored every corner of her mansion. Rachel, meanwhile, continued her work meticulously, cleaning the rooms and tidying up the house, unaware that she was being watched. While cleaning Sarah's room, the young woman noticed the half-open jewelry drawer. Her eyes widened at the sight of the glittering jewels. She hesitated for a moment, her heart racing with temptation. Rachel, thinking out loud, "Why would someone leave something so valuable like this? It doesn't make sense." She looked around, nervous, and took a step towards the drawer. Her fingers lightly touched a diamond necklace. Rachel, whispering to herself, "No one would notice if I took one." But upon hearing a distant noise, she immediately backed away, ashamed for having had that thought, and carefully closed the drawer as if she had never considered touching it. Meanwhile, Sarah, who was watching everything on her cell phone during her meeting, frowned. Although Rachel hadn't taken anything, the temptation was there, and that was enough to awaken the millionaire's suspicion. Days went by and Sarah continued to observe Rachel closely. Although the young woman never again showed any suspicious behavior, the millionaire couldn't shake that first impression. She decided to create a new trap, even more tempting. Sarah organized a big party at her mansion, and this time she left a diamond ring of inestimable value purposely dropped on the bathroom floor. She knew that Rachel would be in charge of cleaning right after the party. At the end of the night, Rachel, exhausted, entered the bathroom to finish cleaning and soon saw the ring on the floor. She picked it up, feeling the weight and beauty of the jewel in her hands. Her eyes sparkled and her heart raced. Rachel, thinking to herself, "Whose ring is this? Will they notice it's missing? I could sell this and change my family's life." She stood in silence for a few seconds, still holding the ring until she heard footsteps approaching. Sarah was coming back from the ballroom on purpose to catch her in the act. When the two crossed paths in the hallway, Sarah noticed that Rachel had something in her hands. Silence filled the house. It was the decisive moment. Sarah, in a serious tone, "Rachel, what do you have there?" Rachel gulped, her eyes meeting Sarah's, and the tension in the air was palpable. Rachel looked at the ring in her hands, feeling the weight not only of the diamond but of the choices she would have to make at that moment. Her hands trembled, but with a deep sigh, she held out the ring towards Sarah. Rachel, with a trembling voice, "I found this on the bathroom floor. I was going to give it back to you, I swear." Sarah crossed her arms, analyzing Rachel coldly. For a moment, silence took over the hallway. Rachel, fighting back tears, felt compelled to open up. Rachel, in an emotional tone, "I know how this looks. I know you don't trust me. I needed the job. My family is going through hard times, but I would never steal anything from you. I just wanted to return it." There was sincerity in Rachel's voice, and Sarah noticed it. She had underestimated the young woman, thinking that anyone would give in to the temptation of a life of luxury. But there, in that confession, Sarah saw more than a humble employee. She saw a woman with values. For a moment, Sarah felt discomfort, as if the scars of past betrayals had clouded her judgment. She let her guard down, and something inside her began to change. Sarah, in a softer tone. You know, Rachel, I too have had moments of doubt about who to trust, but you proved something today. Sarah looked closely at Rachel, still holding the diamond ring, and saw the sincerity in her eyes. The millionaire took a deep breath, reflecting on how she had become so distrustful over the years. Her divorce and several betrayals had made her see the worst in people. However, in that moment, something changed. Sarah, in a firmer tone but with empathy, I tested you, Rachel. From the first day, I wanted to see if you would fall into temptation, like many before you. Rachel was surprised. Her face showed a mix of shock and hurt. Rachel, with wide eyes, You tested me? Why? Sarah, with a sigh, Because trusting people has never been easy for me. But you showed that, even when temptation was in front of you, you did the right thing. Silence dominated the room as Rachel processed what she had just heard. Feeling humiliated, she shook her head and replied firmly, Rachel, I work hard to maintain my integrity. I'm not perfect, but I'm not a thief either. I just want a fair chance without games. Sarah, touched by those words, realized how unfair she had been. She knew that Rachel's honesty was genuine. For the first time in a long time, Sarah felt that she could trust someone again. Sarah, with a slight smile, You are right. And because of that, from now on, you will get more than just a fair chance. Rachel was speechless, not understanding what Sarah meant. Sarah, tomorrow I want you working in the main office as my personal assistant. Your salary will be double what you earn now. I need someone trustworthy by my side. Rachel was in shock upon hearing Sarah's offer. Her eyes filled with tears, but this time they were of relief and gratitude. Rachel's life was about to change completely, and it was all because she chose to maintain her integrity, even when temptation seemed easy. Rachel, with a choked voice, I don't even know what to say. Thank you so much, Mrs. Lawson. This means more than you imagine. Sarah took a step forward with a softer look, without the harshness that had previously defined her. Sarah, you earned it, Rachel. Honesty is something rare, and you proved to me that I can still trust, and please call me Sarah. From now on, we are partners. Rachel smiled, feeling a huge sense of relief. The weight of Sarah's distrust had finally been lifted, and now she saw an opportunity not only to change her life, but also to grow alongside someone who, despite the scars, still had an open heart. The two women, so different yet connected by loyalty and trust, walked together through the luxurious mansion. It was the beginning of a new phase, both for Sarah, who had learned to trust again, and for Rachel, who now envisioned a future of success. Months passed since that test, and Rachel now worked directly alongside Sarah in the central office of her hotel chain. The trust between them grew every day, and Rachel showed not only dedication, but a natural ability to handle the challenges of the business world. Sarah, in a team meeting, Rachel has shown incredible capability. Thanks to her, we have expanded our operations with much more efficiency. Rachel, sitting next to Sarah, smiled, recognizing how much her life had changed since the day she almost gave in to temptation. But instead of taking the easy path, she chose honesty and reaped rewards she had never imagined. More than just an employee, Rachel had become a key player in Sarah's business. The two had developed a relationship of respect and friendship, something Sarah hadn't expected to find again. Rachel, thinking to herself, who would have thought that such a small choice could change my life so much? Now I'm ready for anything. As Rachel looked to the future with hope, Sarah also felt that this moment had marked a turning point in her life. She learned that it was still possible to trust people, and that the true value of someone goes beyond appearances or the tests we impose on them. The story of Rachel and Sarah reminds us that, in moments of temptation, our choices can define not only our present but also our future. Rachel, by choosing to follow the path of honesty, gained not only Sarah's trust, but also a new chapter in her life, filled with opportunities. And Sarah, who feared trusting so much, discovered that there was still goodness and loyalty in those she least expected. This story shows us that the easiest path is not always the right one, and that trust is a value built with actions, not words. If you enjoyed this story and felt inspired, share it with friends and leave your comment. What part touched you the most? The channel Inspired Stories has many other exciting stories full of life lessons like this one, so don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss any. Remember, honest choices always lead to great rewards. See you in the next video. Until then.